Hello YouTube, thank you for stopping by. As always, please click like if you happened to enjoy this video. Please click on subscribe, and if you would like to be notified when I publish future videos, just click on that bell-shaped notify button. Additionally, I'd love to hear from you, so be sure to leave me a comment and please share this video with anyone else you think might enjoy it as well. Alrighty then. In this video, I'm using the photos I took while repairing a water pipe leak that happened in front of our house, right under the concrete slab of the front porch and walkway. Not fun. Anyways, I'm making a slideshow video of these pictures so I can share the information on YouTube. I hope you find it informative. My wife noticed water collecting around the water inlet pipe for the house, apparently coming up from under the front porch concrete walkway. The water pipe does appear to be leaking, and it's been leaking long enough for a white, chalky calcification or efflorescence stain to appear on the closest expansion joint in the concrete. The pipe and valves above the porch are dry to the touch, so the leak must be below the surface of the concrete. The ground in front of the porch is also very soggy. There will be a decent amount of groundwater seepage to deal with. A buddy of mine, Lee Limperis, is a general contractor, so I called him to discuss the issue and my options. He asked me to pull out the foam from around the pipe and try to inspect the pipe where it comes out through the concrete. If the leak is visible right there, it might be a simple repair. So I bent the tip on a small flat blade screwdriver to use as a digging tool and got to work pulling out the foam padding. Using the modified screwdriver, a pair of needle nose pliers, and some surgical forceps, I'm able to remove all the foam. There is no obvious leak in this area, but the water level in the hole is definitely rising. Since water follows the path of least resistance, pulling the foam out has given the water an easier avenue of escape. I used a wet, dry shop vac and a couple drinking straws to suck out as much of the water from the hole as possible. Using my endoscope camera, I'm able to see roots from our palm tree that have grown into this area in search of moisture. This must have been leaking for quite a while. There is still no obvious source of the water leak though, so the leak must be under the concrete slab of the porch walkway. After seeing the pictures that I sent him, my buddy Lee decided that he wanted to look at it himself in person to better assess the situation. He quickly came to the same conclusion and offered to assist me with the repair. Can't complain about that. I then started digging out the sod and dirt in front of the porch to gain access to the inlet water pipe. While I was digging, Lee used a diamond blade to cut the concrete around the inlet water pipe. I'm a little concerned that this hole will not be big enough to work with, but I quickly dismissed this thought because we can always make the hole bigger if we need to. These cuts will help keep the rest of the concrete from chipping and fracturing as the concrete around the pipe is broken up and removed. Next, a large hammer drill and carbide-tipped masonry drill bit are used to break up the concrete around the pipe. This is a great technique, and I'm going to have to remember this process. Lee makes quick work of the concrete, and soon we have a hole big enough to get a better look at the water pipe. There is so much muck and mud that needs to be removed by hand from this hole in order to gain access to the first joint in the water pipe. We hope to find the leak at this first solder joint. There was no leak at the first solder joint, so the hole has to be dug even deeper to get down to where the pipe heads towards the street. Once down far enough, it becomes obvious that the leak is probably under the porch walkway as water is trickling into this hole from the direction of the street. In the meantime, the inlet pipe has finally been found in front of the porch walkway. Now we need to clear out enough material so we can actually do the repair. We notice that water is trickling into this hole from under the concrete walkway. This section of pipe under the walkway will need to be replaced. The decision is made to abandon the section of leaking pipe rather than attempt to remove it. Too much effort with no real benefit. We created a water drill out of some 3/4 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe, a ball valve, and a hose fitting. Before turning off or disconnecting the water from the house, we used this water drill to create a new hole or tunnel for the replacement pipe to pass through under the concrete and into the hole we dug in the porch down around the inlet water pipe. The water drill added a lot of water into the work area, which we had to continually evacuate with the shop vac. The old pipe gets cut and prepped for soldering the replacement pipe to it. Although the water had just been sucked out, the saturated soil keeps seeping water into these holes. I am amazed that Lee has enough space to work down in that hole. If it was just me doing this repair alone, this hole would need to be much bigger. Here, the replacement water pipe is now connected to the house inlet. After using the shop vac again to evacuate groundwater that seeped into the hole as well as the supply side of the pipe, the replacement pipe and joints get cleaned and prepped for soldering. Next, the other side of the replacement pipe is prepped and soldered into place. After flushing the air out of the pipes in the house, the whole repair gets pressure tested. Huzzah! No leaks. Over the next several days, I keep the holes open and suck out the water that has seeped into the holes. I am also checking the pipe fittings every time. The repairs seem dry and solid. Looking good. After about a week, the amount of water seepage from the surrounding soil into the holes is very minimal. I am confident that the repair is sufficient and that the holes can now be closed back up. The first thing I do is add foam padding to the new sections of pipe. This will help prevent a rock from rubbing up against and damaging these repaired sections of pipe. Next comes sand, a lot of sand. This is to help keep damaging things like sharp rocks away from the pipes and the foam protecting the pipes. Rather than filling the top of this hole with more concrete, I decide to put round river stones in the top layer, just in case there's another repair in my future. The other end of the replaced water pipe also gets covered with foam, followed by a lot of sand, packed in tight. Since the soil that was removed from this area was full of clay and rocks, I bought some topsoil to add a leveling layer between the sand and the sod. It all gets stamped down layer by layer, so there should be limited settling of the soil. Finally, the sod gets put back into place, stamped down, and lightly watered. A little more topsoil is used to even it all out. All in all, not too difficult of a repair, but I am sure glad I had my buddy Lee to help out. Okay, I guess that's it for this video. Remember, please click like if you happened to enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you would please click on subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when I publish future videos, just click on that bell-shaped notify button. Additionally, I'd love to hear from you. So be sure to leave me a comment and please share this video with anyone you think might like it as well. Bye for now.